To everyone out there who has walked and are still walking, you have a story to tell. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to talk. Your journey started when you came into this world and you were crawling and walking and running, and you're still walking. You're still running. So tell your story. Reach out. Talk about your story.
This podcast is proudly supported by the Ōtara Network Action Committee, ONAC, community-owned, community-driven and community-led.
Talofa loa ingoa, Vincent Vitolino, and welcome to the We Are Ōtara Podcast. Happy Samoan Week. Samoan Language Week, eh? Ole. Word of the day is manguia, so that's happy. So why don't you learn that? Even though that's almost the end of the week. Anyway, we get into an awesome conversation with my good friend, two-time Grammy nominee.
Three.
Oh, sorry. 3 is better than 2. Just an amazing bloke that I've just met like 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah.
Kia ora.
So his name is Joe. Just introduce yourself, just to give a little brief blurb about yourself.
Kia ora. Talofa lava, happy Samoan week. Kia ora, my name is Yoteva Macaulay, or known as Joe.
Wey.
Everyone knows me as Joe. Good to be here, good to meet the bro and kōrero about rugby, which I know nothing about, even though I play it.
No, it's all good. But we live and breathe rugby. This is rugby nation right here. This country is full of rugby players, and we're known to be one of the bigger predators in the world in terms of rugby, despite South Africa's holding our silverware for so long. But Joe, do you want to get into what got you into rugby? What was the cause of it?
I think rugby. I got into rugby when I was a kid. In my early teens, I would have been about 12, 13, 14, because it was bringing boys together, and there was this camaraderie, or this thing. If you're not in a rugby team, you're one of the nerds out of walking the school grounds or whatever. And then as I got better, I joined our village rugby club, and it was just that. It was just knowing that I was a part of something. Yeah.
No, you're good. So you said village rugby. So was this? So were you born here, or were you born in the islands?
Born in Rarotonga,
Wey.
raised in Rarotonga, in the awesome village of Ngatangia, and I played for the Ngatangia Matavera Sea Eagles. It was a maroon team, and we've had some great wins and bad losses. So yeah, it's a great village to be a part of. And I grew up there, so I learned a lot when I was growing up in the Rarotonga until I left. I think I was about 18 years old when I came to New Zealand, and I played a few games here and went, the boys here are too big and too fast, and then I just played social. Yeah.
Okay. So what is the difference between playing rugby village and then going into New Zealand?
I think playing rugby village back then, it was all about just having fun and challenging your rival villages.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't professional at the time, but because you were just getting out there and just throwing yourself out there without proper technique or physical fitness. That came in gradually, but then when you come to New Zealand, you could see that fitness, your mental game is top. Like you come from the islands and you're just as, don't want to say, but you come as this rugged coconut who just gets out there and smashes everyone, and there's no technique, you just run hard, but then you come over here, there's skill, there's fitness and all that, and then you're like, oh, you thought you were good? No, you're not.
Yeah, and I guess that's the difference, because so when I was little, I would basically watch my cousins play rugby. So it's like exactly like village rugby, but then when I grew older and I'm watching more and more with the professionals and whatnot, you tend to see all of the intricate parts of rugby. It's the nutrition side of things, and now and it's the how do you play? It's play sets and whatnot, right?
It's smart rugby now.
Yeah.
You know, it's smart rugby, fitness and being smart. I always think that if you're a good chess player, especially for halfbacks or fullbacks, if you're a good chess player, you can read the game well. But I think I know that rugby's come a long, long way. You know, there are some guys out there who don't play rugby into their later teens, you know, and they become great players, or they play when they're young right up until they're
that natural talent. Right?
Yeah, and then they decide, look, this is not for me anymore. I want to be academic. I know one kid from years ago. He played rugby league with my son, and he's a lawyer now. But he was a really, really good rugby league player. We watched him. I was going, he's going to go far. He's going to go into the Warriors. But then I think he was about 15, 16. He says, no, Mum, I don't want to play anymore. I'm academic. I want to go to uni. And he's done that. And I believe now he's a lawyer. Yeah.
Wow. So like going back to what we were saying is all the intricate parts. And that's what I love about watching grassroots rugby, right? It's not all about the okay, well, I need to do bench press about 500 pounds of gorilla strength. You know, it's about, hey, bro, do you want to go down the field? All right, cool.
Yeah.
So
I love watching grassroots.
Yeah.
You can see the talent that some of these young ones have, and young girls. You know, you watch these kids, girls and boys play rugby, and they're just getting out there and having fun. From ripper rugby right up until contact, you know, and there's even the no shoes, you know, they're wearing no shoes, and they're out there playing ripper rugby with no shoes, and then they have to wear shoes, and then mouth guard, pardon me, and then some of them are wearing headgears, and you're like, oh, and it's so fun. You can see a lot of kids potential.
And then just that's what when I go back to watching grassroots, you're watching the mighty Turbos. I'll just shout out to them, and you can tell these boys are not like backed up by nutritionists and whatnot, but they're backed up by, all right, we got this. We're facing North Harbour, and these boys have got nutritionists and whatnot. Yeah. But it's fun because you know these teams have come so far, and now they're on telly doing grassroots rugby, and it's great. Love it.
I love how they've got nutrition involved now, you know, because you want kids to be super healthy, and it's good for their physical and mental health. You know, going forward, the kids are being prepared for what's life ahead when they're a bit older, and also knowing that there's discipline in playing sport. There's friendship that you build for the rest of your lives, you know, and then even if you don't take rugby further than your teens, you still have that when you go traveling overseas, and then you play a social game and it comes back to you. See, a lot of people, when you go overseas and they know you're Kiwi, they think, oh, straight away rugby, you're a rugby player, you know, and they go, oh, come on, hey, I've got a team, come and play rugby, and you're like, well, I didn't play rugby. You know, I haven't played rugby since I was a kid. You know? And then like, doesn't matter, you're a Kiwi, come and play rugby, and you're like, oh, okay. And you kind of just wing it. Because the last time you played was 12 years old.
But then it's the fun side of playing rugby is just getting in there and just having a lot of fun. But I love how rugby is, like we both agree that rugby is evolving. I love now we have a new component that's being added into every other sport, which is mental health. Shout outs to our beautiful souls out in around the world that men's mental health month, by the way. Just want to let you guys know. Yeah. Ari Sevilla is a big adversary for that as well as our beautiful guest that came along, Mr. Oh my God, I forgot his name.
Sir John Kerwin is one of my. I met him at Pack and Save in Glen Innes once, you know, and I was just like, you know, thank you for putting it out there that, you know, men's mental health is real, and, you know, reach out if you need help, talk to your friends, don't be afraid. But us men are stubborn, you know. We think, no, we don't have to talk about our problems, but we do. We do, you
absolutely. I figured out his name. So big shout out to Big Ruben Wiki, whose gym's out not too far from around here. We had him as a guest as well, talking about his struggles as well when he was playing league. I love the involvement of the game, and it's getting to the point where we now have not only got a good idea of physical well-being, but mental well-being as well, and that's important. I know that you don't consider yourself as a professional, but anyone that has been around a rugby ball, I consider them as a professional because you've played within a team. You're basically a professional. So
thank you. I'll take that. I don't think all my friends out there who played alongside me are going to agree to that. They're going to go, he was bloody useless.
Hey, he's on the podcast, guys. He's better than you guys.
I challenge you to come on the podcast and counter that.
Yeah, exactly. So, with your years being in rugby, because you also mentioned off podcast that you went to London to play for rugby. What are the differences that you've seen? So when you've been playing rugby, have you seen any differences when you were starting to play to where you are now?
Yeah. When I went to London, it was to work and travel, and then I got roped into playing rugby. Like I said, when you go overseas, people go, "Oh, you're a Kiwi, come and play rugby," and you're like, "Hey, man, I haven't played since I was like." But then, when I got there and I bumped into a lot of Kiwis, Aussies, Pacific Islander brothers and sisters out there, and the first thing they do is when they look at you and you're from back home or from the islands, they go, "Hey, you play rugby for our team," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come in." But for me, it drew me into meeting new people and being part of a family, a community, because that's what it was. It was a whole bunch of Kiwis, Aussies, South Africans, and Antipodeans. And then you got like I said, we had some European players in the team. So the first team I played for when I got there was West London, and there was probably about 5 Kiwis in the team, 5 or 6 Kiwis, and these guys were all from Auckland, and I think one was from Christchurch. Anyway, they were like, these are the boys, and one was Polish, English, Irish. I was like, oh, sweet, this is pretty cool. And then the first team I remember playing against was London, New Zealand. And these guys pulled up on a bus, and they got their number ones on, and we all just kind of rocked up from work or wherever. And these guys come out and I was like, man, this is a pretty cool team. So they said, it's London, New Zealand. I was like, man, it was like we're playing the All Blacks because they were kitted. They were kitted. All Black jerseys and everything. I found out later on that they do get some ex-All Blacks come and train with them and coach them and stuff. Oh, it's a really cool team, The only thing that was missing before kickoff was the haka from them, and I was just like, but then we had a good run, like I said, the boys that I was with, we smashed the Kiwi boys, and they had, not only did they have Kiwis in the team, but also they had Aussie Saffers and some Europeans. They had a black guy in there, and he was really good. A black English guy, and he was really good. Yeah. And we gave them a good run, and if it wasn't for us Kiwis laughing at them, and then they turn around, oh, Kiwis on that team, yeah, bro. And that's what we are. We like to mock each other and stir each other up.
It's good banter, right?
Yeah. The difference I found with rugby here and then rugby there in London, or even when I went to France playing, the Kiwis are hard and committed, We get out there, and whereas the teams at the time, they were more conservative, they would play safe, whereas us Kiwis just like to get in there and just throw ourselves in there and play hard. So I think we're a good nation of rugby players, rugby league players, and for both girls and boys.
Absolutely.
I've seen some really strong. When I was in I was like, man, there's some really fast girls, like really solid, that would play better than myself or some of the guys that I played with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, just watching our girls during the Olympics, the first time allowing rugby onto Olympics format, it was amazing. It was literally watching a fierce warrior team going into the world, and you can't get any bigger than the Olympics. Honestly,
I give big shout out to our Black Ferns. They've won more Rugby World Cups than the men.
Yeah,
and they've big shout out to them Wahine sisters, because they've taken New Zealand further, and I'm hoping that we take it out again. That's coming up. And then our All Blacks will take it out too.
Oh, hopefully. Side question: do you think we'll ever get a franchise super female team?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. There's a big support out there for female rugby. I believe if money was pumped into it, you'll get You'll get the girls out there, the young ones from school going up to club rugby. Like at the moment, so I play for Eden Prezzies and Eden Lady Hawks. They're a really good team.
Wow, nice.
So if you're out there, ladies, and you want to play a bit of rugby, come and play for the Lady Hawks, Eden Lady Hawks. Pretty good team. They got a good coach. One of the guys, his name is Juddy. Hit him up, Juddy, or get the girls on the team.
Hey,
and they're good.
Don't poach our Scorpions. Hey, no, this guy play for the Scorpions. Oi, play for the Scorpions. So we should we'll bring some sort of a wrap up, but coming up to your years, you mentioned that you play for the Prezzies and whatnot. Would you ever consider going if you had the chance to take your life back to where you were in the beginning? Would you ever reconsider doing the social stuff and go into pro, or would you rather stay in that line where you're just playing it for fun?
You know what? I think we all got our destinations, our roads on, and wherever we are in life is where we're meant to be. Many years ago, I had the opportunity of representing the Cook Islands in boxing, and my parents at the time said, and it was during exams, and my parents said no, I couldn't go on the Cook Island team. I think it was for the South Pacific Games before the Commonwealth Games, you, and I was a welterweight, so I was selected.
Ooh.
And I was given the chance to go, but then my mum and dad said no, that was during school exam times and I couldn't go, so I couldn't go. And then so the same thing happened when I came to New Zealand. I was 18 years old and I left, and I was an okay rugby league player, and I was an okay rugby player. Because in Raro you play rugby, and then straight after rugby is league, and then there's cricket, and it's just revolving. So
right.
when I left Raro to come here, I trialled out for the Warriors, the Junior Warriors, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then the in-law that I was staying with at the time, he said, no, you need to go and work. You can't go for the trials. You can't be in the team. You need to go and work. And before I left, John Kenning, one of the rugby league great man back in Raro, he came over and said, if you're going to New Zealand, make sure you play rugby league. I said, I can see something in you here, and you go to New Zealand, you find a good rugby league team, and you put yourself into it. And I thought, that was really nice of him. And so when I came over here, the opportunity was there, but I didn't have the support. So I had to let go of thinking, I can play for the Junior Warriors, because the Junior Warriors started in 1995, and that's when I came over.
Yeah.
And then a few years later. But the funny thing is, my cousins were all playing league here, and I met up with them, and they were playing for Manureo Marlins, I think, at the time. Wow. So I jumped on. I jumped on, and we playing against Ōtara Scorpions. The first kickoff was all-in brawl. I stood there and went, nah, I'm not playing this game anymore because it's a fight. This is not a rugby league game, it was a fight. And I went, I see them because you guys play. I'm standing on the sidelines now because there were some big boys, big men, and they would have been about 19, 20, but they look like strong, big island boys who just want to rumble you. So I was like, I want to play rugby league, not fight. If I want to fight, I'll go in the ring.
Yeah.
Make some money in the ring.
No, absolutely. No, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. It just makes me think of, again, Ruben Wiki, how he went over to Canberra. One of our locals here, Corona, when he went out to Bankstown to go try out for the Canterbury Bulldogs and whatnot, and for the under-20s, these boys had the support and whatnot, but then the key word would be support.
Support. I was just gonna say that's what's missed with some of the potential players that went over. Like my nephew, he played for Mount Wellington Warriors, the same team as myself. He went over, and it was because they didn't have the support there. You kind of get roped into going out. There's drinking and there's distractions. That's what I was looking for. These distractions, and if you don't have the support network with you to push you and keep you going on the right track, you're going to veer off. And you're right. It's having the support network in Australia, even in Europe. You know, you look at Japan and everywhere else. They're scouting. They're coming over here and they're looking at schoolboy rugby. You know, and go, okay, we can offer you a scholarship or pay for this, and take you overseas. But if you don't have the support network there, you're not going to enjoy it, because you're leaving your family and you're joining another family which is foreign to you. Yeah. And if you're just doing it because your family over here saying do it because the money is good, the lifestyle, whatever it is. But if you don't have that family network there, then what are you doing? It's the same when I went over to Europe, to London. I just decided to go. I was just like, I said to my dad, I'm going. So I went over, and I had no family. I had two friends there that took me in, and thankfully Tongan guy, Malakai, and his then fiance at the time, they took me in and allowed me to sleep on their couch.
Wow!
And then they kind of helped me find my way when I was in London. I got a job, I got a place, and all this kind of stuff. And then it wasn't until later on when someone said, "Hey, come and play rugby for us," and I was like, "Oh yeah, bro, I'll come." But it was just having that group of friends.
Absolutely.
And I played for West London, and then I played for London Wasps, Cubans. So you got the London Wasps team, and it's a great team at the time. And then you got all these other teams underneath, and I played for I always say the D and EFG team, because it was a whole bunch of Qs that come together, and we've got the Wasp jersey and everything, and the support in the club room, and and you meet Trevor Leota and them, and a whole bunch of ex-Kiwis, ex-All Blacks and all that were there too, and it was a good family community group of people. Yeah, it was a great environment for me when I went over there. So, but knowing that I was away from my family, I had to adopt a new family straight away, you know, or else the road would have been quite wavy for me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I just want to mention one more person. You mentioned support and whatnot. I had him over as a podcast guest. His name was Tox Fale. Tox Fale went over to... there is an agreement between... not really an agreement, but there's scouting between De La Salle boys and the Japanese rugby team. So he got scouted. Nice. So he got scouted from De La Salle, went to Japan, played franchise rugby up there. So he had the big brands like Mitsubishi and all that stuff. But then, like you said, you need that support, that family. He got injury prone and whatnot. So he started to stay over at Japan for so long, and no one was going to pick him up. And then he decided, and this is how it goes back to you doing your shift, he went to do wrestling instead at the end of it, because he was a big fella. He went over to the only Japanese dojo out there for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he slugged it out in the first Gaijin to slug it out in the dojo, and look, he's still wrestling, and it's amazing. He's got a dojo up at Otahu. So
nice.
Yeah, it's just I just thought of you guys, because that same equal journey of, this is not working out for me, but I want to do something. So you doing that, it's great.
That's a great opportunity. Yeah, like if opportunity knocks, and you open the door and you run with it, wrestling, shucks, that's awesome, because you got your technique from rugby, and us Pacific Islanders, Māoris, we're so strong human beings, I'm half caste, so my dad's Scottish and my mum and Polynesian side. So I've got the best of both worlds. Scottish people were Vikings, and then the Polynesians were voyagers of the ocean. Yeah. So we're a strong culture, strong people.
I get you because I'm Afakasi as well, so I'm Samoan Italian. Hence the reason why I love for food.
Oh, I love some pasta. Yeah, hook a brother up.
We'll do. So we'll bring it to the close. I have 3 more questions. So my normal question would be, what is it that you consider yourself as a family man, and you've gone through a lot of journeys. What do you want to see in the next 10 years for yourself or your family?
Living a happy life, at the end of the day, like we spoke about mental health. Mental health is real, and a lot of us men, we don't reach out. I've got a friend out there who's gone to Brisbane.
Yeah.
And I reached out. I had some stuff, and I reached out, and he was one of the brothers that came straight and said, "Look, I'm coming over. We're gonna go and sit down, and I got you, bro." And I want guys to know that if it's you're not weak if you reach out. You're not a man when you reach out.
Yeah.
You are a man, and it's okay. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah,
and that's the thing,
absolutely.
it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to reach out and talk about your feelings. For me going forward, like for my family and myself and all that, it's just being there. Even though teenagers go through life challenges and they all want to, they know better, and yet, I've traveled, I know better too, but I'm going to let you, run, fall over, and then when you want me to help you up, I'll help you up. But happiness is the key, and having support and having friends that you can rely on, family that you can rely on. Your cousins, your brothers. Even though you have this rivalry there's a love-hate relationship between siblings and family members and cousins and all that.
That's right.
But blood is blood. You can always turn around, and family will always help family. And friends out there too. So so that's about it for me. I'd love to coach little league or rugby. But for me, it's about fun.
Yeah.
Kids need to have fun when they're young.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rugby's all about fun. So when you get to about, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, the fun should still be there, but the professionalism kicks in, because the response, your brain is a bit bigger. You're developing more, and you're understanding more that it's not just about rugby. It's also about fitness, nutrition, and livelihood, and then it could also take you down an avenue where I want to be like the young kid that I know who's a lawyer. He played, and so his life of playing, when he gets into court, I'm presuming he's going to play hard, because that's his profession.
That's his profession. Yeah.
And then same with being whatever industry you go down or career you go down, your playing background will always be in there to give you the confidence, the strength, and like I said earlier on, your knowledge is great. If you play chess, you're looking at the game, so you're looking at life the same way. Okay, so if I go down this way, this is going to happen. If I go down that way, this is going to happen. But always remember to be humble, to have fun in life, because before you know it, sadly, the light goes out.
Yeah.
And then you leave behind memories for people to talk about. One of my favorite players that we always bring up is John Olomu. I met John Olomu, rugby sevens in Rarotonga. I was 16. He would have been about 17. When he got off the plane with a team, I was just like, that guy's not 16, 17. That guy's 32. Because he looked massive. He had this big, but he was just this kid walking. I was like, nah. And he played sevens, and then he became big.
Yep.
In New Zealand.
Oh.
And all over the world. He put rugby on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, man. Look, I was gonna say about a quote, but you already a walking quote, because it's just your experience in life guides you to just wonderful moments, and your words are inspiring. So thank you for sharing that with me.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me talk. And to everyone out there, who has walked and are still walking. You have a story to tell, Don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to talk. Your journey started when you came into this world and you were crawling and walking and running, and you're still walking, you're still running. So tell your story, reach out, talk about your story. Your story will be equal to someone else or will be different to someone else, but then that, shucks, we're the same, or hey, we've had the same journey, or we've been on the same river but different canoes. Shucks, bro, I thought I was all alone on mine, but nah, we've been on the same river. So yeah.
I believe that as well. I didn't go with the sports side of things. I went through the media side of things because I always thought of myself as, this is showing my age, so please forgive me. I always thought I wanted to grow up as a Richard Long, a Julie Bailey, a John Hawkesby.
And that's awesome. They are great people.
Yeah.
Those names brings back flashback, because they were great people on television that would talk, Hawkesby, I haven't heard that name in years, but like that, Judy Bailey, I was like, I can see her face, I saw her name the other day, I think I was at the library, I was like, I remember her, she was on TV.
There were, in all three names, what made them so great, they were storytellers.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you're saying. If you're strong enough and if you're courageous enough, tell your story.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you're on that path, be you, be unique. Tell your story. Interview a lot of people. And people remember you for you, like the John Campbell, the Paul Holmes, they make significant markers in timeline, and those names, and then your name will be out there. Oh, I remember the bro Vincent. Oh yeah, I remember you from back then, and you interviewed me.
Yeah, and I remember the guy that plays for the Wasps.
Hey, I read that and corrected it as the Wasps Cubans.
Hey,
it's like the Eden Prems, Eden exclusives. So you're still part of the community, but Because we went over to, where did we go to? We went over to France? No, was it Italy? Oh, man, this is showing my age. We went over and you're expecting the Wasps Prems team come over. But they got a whole bunch of Kiwis, Aussies, and some of the Wasp players going over there. I think it was Italy, Lignano, that's right.
Yeah.
And they were expecting the Delalio and and all these Kiwis turned up and like, who are these guys? Man, it was fun because the Kiwi guys, we were fun,
Yeah.
We sellotape one of the boys up, and the guys and the other teams were like, what the hell? Because he was one of our boys, and he was just really mouthy, and then he got too intoxicated, so we grabbed him and we just sellotaped him right up and just left him in the corner the whole night, and then not all that, but for hours, and the other teams were just laughing and I go, see, that's what happens when you're a bit mouthy, mate. Yeah.
Oh my God. We can go for hours and talk about amazing stories.
No, you got to get someone more professional than me and come.
You're a professional. Stop it, silly.
Hey, they'll go, his mouth is professional. Look at that. That's about it. And that's how I am on the field too. Because that guy, his mouth runs faster than his legs.
That just means that you show charisma. That's all it is, eh?
Yep. I'm a motivator when I'm playing. I'm a motivator. I like to shout like a little dog that shouts at big dogs to hurry up, get in there and do what you need to do. That's me.
But little dogs show potential. I'm going to shout out to the little General Stacey Jones. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was
big power in little packages, man.
Yeah, my wife goes Stace.
Stace. But once again, thank you so much, my friend.
Brother. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Thank you.
Yeah.
And once again, which camera am I looking at? This one? Perfect. Thank you so much for watching. I almost got in trouble for not going near the mic. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Telephone.
Got you there.